My name is Aisha. I was born and raised in the UK and I am a mother of one. As a Muslim woman, I feel discriminated against. I feel that I am the subject of attack, whether it's from politicians, the media, society as a whole, and just general members of the public. They attack me whether it's for my niqab, for my hijab, for the fact that I practice segregation, and it's even got to the extent that now they're challenging my role as a mother. This is absolutely ridiculous. Once again, the government has another strategy to tackle extremism, but in reality they're going to further entrench it. They're alienating Muslim mothers, discriminating against them, challenging their parenting skills, somehow claiming that they're unfit and need to be trained to raise their own children. What about all those children who are being abused, neglected, and sometimes even killed daily? One child a week is killed within their own homes. Why don't they concentrate on training those parents and giving them parenting skills? These are the same tactics that they've used time and time again. They know that the woman is the backbone of society, and particularly in Islam, that's how we hold the Muslim woman. She is the backbone of society. She raises a generation, and she's the one who nurtures them to be the standard bearers in society. If they undermine her role, then they undermine the future generations. If they attack her and her ideals, then they'll attack the ideals of the future generations. By adopting measures like this, by asking mothers and fathers to spy on their own children, to hand them over to the authorities, they're breaking down that trust that is so important in any family structure. They're breaking down the family unit so that there's no more trust. And they're instilling that fear into mothers where they have to make that choice. Either you and your children are moderates and you toe the government line, or you're extremists and you don't agree with the government and its policies. They're making that distinction, and they're creating that fear and that mistrust in families and in society. Once again, rather than addressing the actual issue at hand, which is the government's foreign policy and its domestic policy against Muslims, they're pointing the finger at Muslim women, saying that they're the cause of the problem, they're the ones who need to shape up, they're the ones who need to address it. In reality, you might stop a mother from allowing her children to access certain material online. You may cause her to hand her children into the authorities, but you're not going to stop those same children seeing on TV the abuse and the torture of Muslims, hearing cases of extra rendition where the government is complicit in the torture of Muslims abroad. They're going to hear about rape and abuse, and they're going to know that the government is funding those groups and organisations and countries who are doing these acts. If they don't address their own foreign policy, if they continue to bury their heads, then all these strategies, agendas, they're not going to make any bit of difference. I expect every single mother to be techno-savvy, to have the skills that she needs to protect her children, to make sure that they're safe, to make sure that they're not accessing materials that are harmful to them. Every time a child puts YouTube on to play a little cartoon, they're bombarded with imagery and videos that are completely obscene. They're being taken advantage of, whether it's in the music industry with characters like Miley Cyrus and how explicit their behaviour is, the film industry where even children's movies have explicit material or notions or concepts in them, or whether it's the porn industry, which is so easily accessible to the youth, which is why there's such a big problem for them. So mothers do have a role to play when it comes to protecting their children from those who wish to exploit them, even from online paedophiles who are trying to get access to them, who are trying to harm them in some way. Our role is that we protect our children from harm, and the government rightly expects that of us. But you don't hear them saying to mothers, spy on your children and inform on them if you think that they're part of a violent gang. You don't hear them saying that to mothers, spy on them and inform on them if you think that they have tendencies to become a paedophile. You don't hear that. The standards that they hold Muslim mothers to are different to any other mother. They expect the Muslim mothers to be responsible for de-radicalising them. They expect Muslim mothers to make sure that they toe the government line, they uphold British values. You don't hear the government saying to other mothers that their children have to be protected from becoming anarchists or anti-monarchists. You don't say to them, you must de-radicalise your children and protect them from becoming those. So it's a different standard that they hold the Muslim mothers to and the non-Muslim mothers to. The government claims that their agenda is to de-radicalise and protect society, but the reality is that they're not trying to de-radicalise, they're trying to de-Islam us. They want us to stop raising our children as Muslims. They want us to raise our children to toe the British way of life, to become part of this British society in entirety, not to claim to be Muslim first, but to claim to be British and British only. They want us to adopt democracy, and not just adopt it, but be the standard bearers of it. And that's not what we are. We're Muslim. We are the standard bearers of Islam, and that's what we raise our children with, and that's what we nurture them to become.